This is the organizational meeting of the Byram Hills Board of Education and regular board meeting for Tuesday, July 11th, 2017. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So our first order of business is to swear in 2 new board members, one who's not new and one who is.
That's for sure.
So this is the public officer's oath. If you'd stand, raise your right hand. And read.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education member for the term of 3 years according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Now, an old-faced.
No, he went to the gym.
Went to the gym? I did.
Irish woman. Raise your right hand, please.
I do solemnly swear, yet again, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education member for the term of 3 years according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, Greg.
Now, I'll open the meeting up for nominations for President, Board of Education.
Nominate Robin Glad.
Second.
Any other
Close
nominations?
nominations.
Move to close nominations. Second that.
All in favor of closing nominations? Okay, nominations are closed. All in favor, Robin? Congratulations, Robin.
Okay, I need the vice president.
So do the oath all in one shot. Here's the oath of office. Raise your right hand, please.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education President for the term of 1 year according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Office of Vice President.
Nominate Scott Levy.
I second.
Move to close nominations.
Second.
All in favor of closing? All in favor of Scott? Here's your oath.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Byram Hills School District Board of Education Vice President for the term of 1 year according to the best of my ability. I'll just sign it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all you have.
Okay. Well, first off, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And thank you for the support that you're showing in me, and I am so excited to work with you
Likewise.
as a board officer. And welcome. I know that you're going to be a really thoughtful, intelligent addition to our board, and I am, appreciative that you're taking on this role, and thank you to your family, husband who's here to support you today, for sharing her with us. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you'll stay on the board for many years. And got some new faces around the board. We've shifted some seats, but the one thing that remains constant, and the reason for our success is that we all have this shared vision, this shared mission, and it's very clearly communicated. We all have buy-in to that. And when you start with that, everything else seems not insurmountable. So we keep moving forward and onward. And welcome to the table, Peggy. Good to see you. And look forward to a great year. Okay. So with that, the board met in executive session. The meeting was open at 7:20, and we discussed one item, which was 4.1, personnel matter, individual employee. At this time, are there any comments from the public of any matters not on the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Can I have a motion to adopt our agenda?
Second.
Okay, any changes? All in favor? Motion is approved. And we have our agenda. can I have a motion to approve our annual organizational appointments by the Board of Education for the 2017-2018 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and just, so everybody knows, and really for Lori, there's, every year at this time, we have to approve all of these positions just so we can start our year off, and they're all listed for the public to see on our website, on our agenda, and the board gets details of all those appointments in our board packet. So that's what this is, it's just to get the year kicked off, approving everybody in their positions. Any comments on that? Motion's on the table, all in favor? Okay. And likewise, we have to adopt all of our board policies again at the beginning of the year. And then throughout the year, we'll have a policy committee like we always do. We will reevaluate assorted policies, any changes in the law, they'll be addressed. But this is just to kick our new year off. So can I have a motion to readopt all of our board policies, specifically including policy 2160, which is the school district officer and employee code of ethics, policy 6240, which is investments, policy 6700, which is purchasing, and policy 6700R, which is purchasing regulation for the 2017-2018 school year.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Okay. And likewise, 2 resolutions to kick the year off. Resolution 9.1, which is resolution approving designation of Board of Education members to appoint impartial hearing officers for special education hearings effective July 1, 2017. And 9.2, which is resolution authorizing settlement by Director of Special Services in consultation with Superintendent of Schools of due process claims effective July 1st, 2017. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Motions are approved. And now for our consent, which we have consent for business, personnel, and special services. And the way we do that is there are many items that are pretty standard that we vote on in sum. And if there's anything that anybody ever has any issue with or wants further discussion, just let us know. We pull it off of consent and we can discuss it. And again, all this is the public can see anything that we're voting on in advance on our agenda on our website. So can I have a motion to approve our consent agenda for personnel, business, and special services?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. And that moves us to unfinished business, which we had no unfinished business from last year. We're starting fresh. And we don't have any new business yet. We certainly will as
That'll change.
Yeah, that'll change pretty quickly. And that moves us right on to staff reports, and I am thrilled to pass it on to our superintendent.
Thank
Jen
you,
Maria.
thank you.
Yes.
We do not have any staff reports today, but I think it's appropriate as a new superintendent to have some introductory comments about what's happening in the district. We had a terrific end of the school year last year. It's really nice to see all of those moving up ceremonies, 5th grade and 8th grade and our high school commencement, to see the success of our students. Also to end the year with many faculty and staff receiving longevity awards showing dedication to the district, and quite a few tenure recipients. And then, of course, our students never fail to impress us, so we had some outstanding scores at the end of the school year. We had a 94 average on the Common Core English Regents, which was up 2 points from last year, and that's the second year we're administering that exam. All students passed. And we also had the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, which had an average of 90% on that exam this year, which was also up 2 points from last year. So it's the best when we can end a year with student success, and I feel that we've been able to do that. And no sooner does the last year leave us than the new year is upon us, and as you said, we have quite a few new leadership positions in the district, very familiar faces to people. So this is in part due to the succession planning that the board takes on as a board goal every year, that we have people in these positions. Tim as deputy superintendent, Peggy coming to us from Coman Hill as the principal to be our assistant to the superintendent for human resources and curriculum K-5. And people in the community will see changes in our buildings as well, with 2 principals heading 2 of our schools who had been assistant principals in those schools. We have Kim Lappel at the middle school as our principal, and we have Mary Beth Krupe at Coman Hill, and she is our principal there. We also have 2 new assistant principals, one a longtime teacher in the district, Angelo Ancona, who will be assistant principal at Crittenden. They are really starting out very strong already this year. And we have a candidate from outside of the district who is now our assistant principal at Coleman Hill, Teresa Letizia, who brings to us quite a bit of experience with working with teachers. So we are excited for these faces, and we are grateful to the board for making it a priority in the board goals last year. The succession planning went rather smoothly due to that. And we move forward. We are taking the administrators on a 2-day local work retreat in the next 2 days. And at that time, we are going to be looking at our systems thinking, meaning looking at what each department in each building are doing and how they are interconnected to really accomplish our vision and our mission to create the leaders of the next generation. So we are very excited to move forward with that work, and I am grateful to be a superintendent of such a strong school district that has history, culture, values, student focused. So,
Great. And are there any other staff reports at this
No.
time? No? And does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay,
One
thank
quick,
you.
actually, Tim, do you, when's the 3 through 8 tests?
They
When-
told us July.
July. Okay. Is that when it gets distributed to parents too, or does it come to us in July, the district in July, and then?
We'll get the results at that point, then the BOCES prints the parent reports. So probably sometime in August, those will be sent to
Got it.
us, and then we can mail them out.
Every year it's a
Yeah.
couple weeks earlier.
Yeah. So it's, they were saying initially we would get them at the end of the school year. They've been saying that for a few years, but it always seems to be the end of July from the past few years.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you.
Sorry, one more quick thing. On the schedule for board meetings for next year, are we now sending those, are those all gone out digitally yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I got them all, okay.
See if they loaded on your calendar.
Yeah, I'm just thinking she might still be using that wrong email. I don't know. We had to get rid of that.
Yeah.
There was one last Wednesday, Michael, we were looking for you.
Yeah, but there was one email, yeah, we have to make sure when we have that group one that it doesn't have your wrong email.
I'm just looking at the schedule now.
It came out, I think, 2 weeks, last week, the week before.
I'll ask her. Okay. And along the lines of agenda, everyone should have seen in their board packet the agenda setting meeting schedule where we have a third, besides the president and the vice president, there's a third member put in there to go to the agenda setting meetings and just, you know, really to be clear, those agenda setting meetings, there's no business discussed because business is discussed in the public and you know, within the whole board. Those are really just to make the meetings go smoothly, so there's no questions on anything that's going to, you know, how the meeting's going to flow or whatever. And the purpose is, the agendas really are pretty well set every year. It's, at that same time, it's pretty much the same. So the agenda setting meetings are really just to, you know, review what's going to be talked about at the meeting, not specifically what's going to be talked about, but just the order of events and that sort of thing. And the reason that we invite a third board member is really just for our own succession planning, so that, you know, they'll think about maybe being one of the officer positions. So that's really the purpose, and just, we can't have more because we can't have a quorum, because we're not discussing any business, and we're not deciding on anything, but that's the purpose of them. So if you're assigned to a particular meeting and you can't go, feel free to change it with somebody else. Okay, and you can let me know if you can't go, and I can help you find somebody else if someone else wants to go to that meeting. But everyone should have seen that schedule, and if not, let me know. And the other thing too, in your board packet is also last year's board goals. Think about them, because in our August meeting, we want to really start moving forward on the goals. So think about what you think we should be focusing on, and keeping in mind we've got a lot going on next year with new administrators and contracts that need to be renegotiated, et cetera. So we don't want to take on more than we can.
There's always
Handle.
the discussion we have about a goal versus the continuing work of the board. And it's always interesting to have that discussion to see whether continuing the work of the board is a goal in certain topics, or we say, no, that's not a goal, it's just a continuing work of the board. But sometimes it's worth having that discussion because it does help focus our thinking on where we want to go. And I would just comment on that I think we've normally found that 4 goals around is probably the appropriate range. That 5, 6, 7 tends to be unwieldy. Too few probably is
Right, and there's a lot of bullets under each of
And-
those anyway.
Yeah, and as we all know, you don't know what's coming down the pipe during the year. That's going to take our time away. So when you look at the board goals, keep in mind number as well as whether or not it's a goal or it's the continuing work of the board. For example, a budget is really continues, an ongoing work of the board. We typically don't have budget goals, but that's it.
Okay, and the only other thing I want to say in the President's report is our next meeting is going to be August 29th, and that meeting it's kind of a long day, but it starts off at 8:30 in the morning where we welcome all the faculty back to school, and then we come back at 5:30 at the district office, and by law, we have to make sure the schools are open, ready to be opened, and so that's what that's about. We get a tour of each of the schools. And then we come back that evening, 7:30, our board meeting. And that is my report for this first meeting. Does any committee have any reports left over from last year? Okay. And committee assignments. So also included in your board packet was last year's committee assignments, and there's also a description of all the committees. So I ask you all to think about which committees you might want to be on. Give me, if you can within the next week would be helpful, give me your list prioritizing, 1, 2, 3, 4, which ones you would want. Give me a minimum of 3. And Scott and I will take a look at them and try to give everybody the committee that they prefer. And hopefully we'll get that set by, if we can get it set like in another couple weeks, we'll send you a list. And once that's set, we can each give Janine our bios for the website. I'd like to get that up before school starts, so maybe sometime in August. And actually, we really have to get you were saying we have to get the policy committee established, and as well as the Education Foundation, I think is what you said. So if you can get those to me within the next week, I'd appreciate that. Any questions, call me on any of the committees. And just be mindful of what times those committees usually meet, whether it's evenings, whether it's mornings, days. I think we spelled that out in the descriptions. And think about your own schedule and what you can give to that committee. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any topics for future agendas or requests for future information? Hearing none. Any communications to the board? There's none that I'm aware of. Nobody else? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the Board of Education minutes from June 19, 2017?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any changes? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? You can abstain if you want, but, okay. Thank you very much, Donna, once again. And glad you're back doing this again for us.
Good to be there.
Okay, and as I said before, the board met in executive session beforehand to discuss the item that I mentioned. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Have a good day, everybody. Have a great summer, safe summer, and we'll see everyone back in August.
That's it.